Hi, I'm Tom Vaughan-Fowler, the Regional Director for the UK, Ireland and the Middle East here at WiredScore. And I'm joined by Axel, who is one of our senior group product managers and part of the brains trust behind our recently launched WiredScore certification for the industrial sector. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes today asking Axel some questions on how we go about building new products, what it means for the sector and what our plans are for the future. Axel, my first question for you is what is a group product manager and what do you do?
Yeah, so I think there's lots of definitions of product managers out there, but I think the easiest way to define it is a product manager is someone who does research to identify problems and then works with a team to build solutions to these problems.
Fantastic. And in this instance today, the problem that we're talking about is digital connectivity in the industrial sector. And we think that the solution is WiredScore certification. What are the first steps? How do you go about doing this and establishing indeed there is a problem?
Yeah, so the first thing we do is research. So we start by setting a list of assumptions that we want to test. So for example, what do occupiers care about when it comes to technology in industrial real estate? And then we speak to as many people as we can. So we speak to brokers, developers, landlords, investors, consultants. And then we also like to go on site and see for ourselves what technology is being implemented, how it's being implemented, and what are the key challenges that land will face.
Fantastic. And how's it going so far?
Yeah, it's been really fun going on site, seeing some of these sort of technology rollout. We had some kind of fun anecdotes around this. We learned, for example, that racks, generally speaking, so what's being used to distribute and store items is a bit of a nightmare when it comes to Wi-Fi and mobile signal. And we also learned that liquid, in this case beer, is even worse when it comes to this. So it creates a bit of nightmare when it comes to the team who's trying to sort out how to get the whole team connected on site.
Really interesting. So you've done your research, you've established a problem set, you've seen both anecdotally and on site what that looks like in real life. How does research become a scorecard? Because a scorecard is typically the underlying assessment method behind one of our certifications. Can you tell us more how you get from research to scorecard?
Yeah, sure. So the way we kind of approach a scorecard is we start with a set of outcomes that we want to measure. So things that occupiers care about at the highest level. So for example, how future ready a site is for new technology, how resilient it is against outages, what's the kind of internet experience within the site. And once we've identified these kind of core outcomes, we then build criteria against it. So if we look at resiliency, for example, we will then build a criteria around connectivity resiliency. So what technology is being used to deliver internet on site, how resilient it is, what's the backup option. Same thing with things like power resiliency. Again, what is the power distribution to that site and what's the backup plan if things go wrong?
Really cool. So problem space established, research done, scorecard built. I think we're now out certifying our first buildings. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. So we're certifying our first buildings here in the UK and Ireland, which is really exciting to actually see the evidence come through and kind of test the kind of scorecard that we built over the past 2 years. What's been really exciting from these first projects is also seeing landlords engage with occupiers as part of the process. So telling occupiers why they're doing this particular assessment of WiredScore, what's the benefit, and then having occupiers kind of reflect on what this means for them. And the feedback from occupiers has been really great, which is really exciting.
Probably the most important people in the whole chain.
Yeah.
So it sounds like job done. You built the product, scorecards up and running, we're out certifying things. What does that mean from a product point of view? Do you rest on your laurels? Do you move on to the next thing, or is there more for you to do with industrial?
Yeah, so I think the product is never quite finished. I mean, I know it's a scorecard, which means it's a set benchmark, and we want to make sure that everyone's benchmarked against the same set of criteria. But as we go through these first assessments and then we start to do assessment in other countries, we learn a lot. We learn about the evidence that we should be asking for. What's the easiest way to collect that? We learn about how to kind of do the assessment on site as efficiently as possible. And really the kind of job moves to making the process as smooth as possible, but also ensuring that we're delivering as much value as we can. So things like training the leasing team, how do we go about training industrial brokers? How do we help when it comes to reporting to investors on the finance side, ESG and GRESB? So all these kind of items that kind of connect to the results of the certification is what we start to focus after we build the scorecard.
So it's by no means a done deal?
No.
Well, we'll have to get you back in 6 months' time and see how it's gone from there.
Happy to.
Thanks, Axel.
Cheers. Thanks, Tom.